Welcome to 10 Minutes Library, your shortcut to the world's best books. In just 10 minutes, we turn powerful ideas into life-changing lessons. Let's grow smarter, fast.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something that might just, make you rethink things a bit. Our source material opens with this really interesting idea. Most people think they need more money. Okay, standard enough. But what they really need is to understand how money thinks.
Right. It shifts the focus completely.
Exactly. So it's not about, super complex financial strategies today.
No, not all.
It's about the human side of it all. Wealth, greed, happiness.
Yeah.
All through the lens of Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, specifically from a great video summary we looked at.
That's right. And this deep dive, well, we hope it opens your mind a little. It doesn't matter if you feel rich or, maybe you're just starting out or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
We're pulling out these key lessons that really challenge a lot of the usual advice about getting wealthy and maybe more importantly, actually feeling content with your finances.
Is that contentment?
It really is less about the numbers, the spreadsheets, and much more about what's happening, upstairs, between your ears.
Okay, so let's jump into that first big idea then. The sources, they argue pretty strongly that doing well with money, it actually has surprisingly little to do with how smart you are.
Right. Or even formal financial training.
Which, that grabbed my attention straight away.
Yeah.
Because you instinctively connect being good with money to, high IQs or fancy degrees, don't you?
It's such a common assumption. But what's really eye-opening here is the evidence. Think back to the 2008 crisis.
Okay.
The sources bring up how loads of brilliant people, bankers, people you'd think knew finance inside out, well, they ended up wiped out.
Right. So why?
It wasn't a lack of smarts. It was often a total lack of emotional control. Just think about it. That fear of missing out, or the panic when things drop, or just pure greed pushing bad decisions. Those very human biases, they can just trash even the most genius strategy.
So it's less about raw intelligence and more about something else. Temperament?
Exactly. The core message here, I think, is that finance isn't like physics, There aren't exact formulas. It's much more of a soft skill.
A soft skill. Interesting.
Yeah, it's where how you behave is way more critical than what you know. And that soft skill, it isn't about complex math. It's about your personality, your discipline, your ability to handle those really strong feelings like fear and greed.
Especially when things get chaotic.
Especially then. That's when it really shows.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. And if financial success is really about managing yourself, that kind of leads to the next question. What does success or wealth even look like? Because the next insight is so powerful. Wealth is what you don't see. We're so drawn to the visible stuff, aren't we? The big house, the fast car.
The Instagram lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. We automatically think, okay, that person's rich.
But true wealth, like Housel points out, it's mostly invisible. It's the money that isn't spent. The classic example.
Millionaire next door.
Yeah. Driving a 10-year-old Toyota, living way below their means. Meanwhile, the person showing off all the latest gadgets might actually be drowning in debt.
Just projecting an image.
Right. Using all that visible spending to look wealthy. So it really makes you question how we perceive richness. And maybe how you, listening, define wealth. Are you kind of influenced by what others are showing off?
So it's not about the fancy things you buy, but the quiet pile of assets you don't spend. The stuff that gives you security and options.
Precisely. And that's the critical point. Saving isn't really about sacrifice. It's about buying freedom.
Buying freedom. I like that.
Yeah, it's that delayed gratification, building up a buffer, giving you real choices, real autonomy. Instead of constantly trying to keep up or impress people, it's like the ultimate hidden superpower.
Okay, that connects really nicely to the next point. Compounding works with patience. We've all sort of heard about compounding, right? Earning returns on your return.
The snowball effect.
Yeah. But the source really stresses how absolutely vital time is in this whole thing. It calls time the most powerful force in investing, period.
It's often misunderstood, though. People get the basic idea, but maybe not the scale. Compounding isn't just interest. It's interest earning its own interest, and that effect gets crazy over long periods.
Like that snowball getting bigger and faster down the hill.
Exactly. The Warren Buffett example is perfect. Apparently, something like 95% of his wealth came after age 60.
Wow. 95%.
Yeah. And it wasn't because he suddenly got way smarter or found some secret trick in his 60s. It was just consistency, letting actual decades do the work.
But that's the hard part, isn't it? The waiting.
Oh, absolutely. That's the behavioral challenge. Most people find it incredibly difficult to just sit tight, to wait it out.
So the real skill isn't being a genius market timer or making incredibly risky bets that pay off huge. It's just being consistent, staying adjusted, letting the snowball roll.
That's the big lesson here. Time in the market beats timing the market, almost always. It just shows the incredible value of patience. It's not just a nice virtue, it's a powerful financial strategy.
Right. Which brings us to what many might see as the ultimate goal. The sources argue that freedom is the ultimate dividend money pays.
Yeah.
If you take away all the material stuff, all the status games, what do people really want from money deep down? The answer seems to keep coming back to freedom.
And that really brings up a question for everyone listening. What does that freedom actually look like for you, personally?
Good question.
The examples that come through are things like being able to say no to projects you don't want to do, or having the power to choose how you spend your own time each day.
Waking up without that immediate financial pressure.
Exactly. Resting when you need to. It's just autonomy, control over your own life.
So the ultimate message isn't really get more money, get more stuff. It's more like chase what money can actually provide, which is a life with more choices.
More independence.
More independence.
That sums it up perfectly, I think. The real takeaway is don't just chase more, chase freedom. That's the actual payoff of managing your money well. And it's built not on what you know necessarily, but on how you behave.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's just so clear from the source material, isn't it? This whole conversation, it isn't just about dollars and cents.
Not at all.
It's profoundly about you. Your behavior, your choices, your mindset, really. All these lessons we've touched on. You know, emotional intelligence, beating book smarts, wealth being hidden, the sheer power of patience and compounding, and that ultimate goal of freedom, they all circle back to our own psychology.
And understanding these behavioral quirks, these tendencies we all have, it can fundamentally change how you approach things, not just money decisions either.
Right. Life choices too.
Definitely. It really reinforces that idea that, true lasting wealth is often built quietly, patiently, behind the scenes. It's not about the flashy stuff that gets attention.
It's about self-awareness and self-control.
Exactly. Those are the real assets.
So here's something to think about as we finish. If financial success hinges more on how you behave than what you know, what other parts of your life could be totally transformed by shifting focus, by prioritizing behavior over just, perceived intelligence?
That's a great question to ponder.
Drop your favorite insight in the comments below. We read every one.